This episode of Nerdist News is sponsored by Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Here's how the shocking ending to The Mandalorian Episode 7 sets up the finale. Now, despite everything going on in the wide world of Star Wars this week, there's one thing that every fan can agree on. This week, The Mandalorian delivered one of its finest episodes yet with Chapter 7, The Reckoning. And we're reckoning that the week and a half we have to wait until we see The Mandalorian season finale is going to be excruciating because of that one thing that happened. Oh, and then that other thing? It was cool and thrilling and scary and, well, it was all just pretty awesome. But we're not going to mention what those things were until after this handy-dandy spoiler warning, because this episode of Nerdist News is going to dive deep into everything that happened in this week's Mando. So if you haven't seen it yet, please take the 45 minutes or so to watch it, and then come back and watch this.
We all will be quiet.
However, if you're sticking around, why not take this moment to both like and subscribe? So what happened in this episode? Well, after several one-off stories, all the threads get tied together when Bounty Hunter Guild boss Greef Karga offers a job to the Mando to kill Secliant in order to rid the planet Navarro of its Imperial presence. Now, in order to return, the Mandalorian gets to keep the child and will be in good standing with the Guild once more. Sounds like a win-win situation, right? What could possibly go wrong?
It's a trap.
I actually think there might be another way to describe this.
No, don't, it's a trap!
Oh, you thought we were gonna do the other one, but...
It's a trap!
Gotcha! Anyway, even though the Mando enters into this obvious trap of his own volition, he tries to get the odds in his favor by calling in his pals Cara Dune and the Ugnaught Kuiil to back him up, along with the newly rebuilt IG-11. But now he's just kind of like T-Robot voiced by Taika Waititi. Oh my god, I just solved it.
T?
Now, quick side note, Baby Yoda seriously needs a teacher to instruct him on the right and wrong ways to use the Force because, look, we get it, he wants to protect the Mandalorian, but Force choking isn't the way to go about that. There are rules to this game, and they only involve arms, you baby! Now, of course, the plan to betray the Mando goes belly up after good Greef Karga has a change of heart when the wee Baby Yoda saves his life by healing him with the Force. A new plan's concocted between the Mando and his friendos to allow them to go through with their original plan of taking out Secliant, but vis a twist. And it all goes south, unfortunately, when Secliant's boss, Moff Gideon, straight up murders him and like a bunch of stormtroopers in an attempt to recover the baby for himself.
I would like to see the baby.
And in true tragic Star Wars fashion, this episode ends with the Mandalorian pinned down inside the cantina, while the wee Baby Yoda is in the hands of the Empire after Kuiil gets mercilessly gunned down. Needless to say, at Episode 7, things are looking pretty grim. So where does this leave us for the finale of this season? I mean, look, this is a classic Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid situation that the Mando finds himself in. He's surrounded by a bunch of fresh-looking troopers in the Storm and Death variety, all in brand new shiny armor. Things could not be worse for him.
You said 4.
Well, there are more. What can I tell you?
Well, if we add in all of the evidence we've seen from the trailers so far, we can assume that Moff Gideon will personally get his hands on the wee Baby Yoda to whisk it off in his cool-ass TIE fighter, because we've literally seen that shot of the Mandalorian hanging on for dear life. Plus, it looks like the Mandalorian's finally gonna get his jetpack, which probably means we can expect to at least see the Mando Clando or the leftovers of their covert in some form or another. Now, this episode will hopefully answer one of the biggest questions of the entire series. What does Moff Gideon, and by extension the Empire, want with the baby?
I would like to see the baby.
Does he want to make more Force-sensitive clones to bring back the Empire? Is he secretly working for the First Order? Does the baby's midichlorian somehow tie into Palpatine's return as was teased in the Episode 9 trailer? Now, a few weeks ago, the description for the season finale revealed that the Mandalorian's going to come up against an unexpected enemy. At the time, we posited this would be Boba Fett's return as he was hinted at in Episode 5. We still think this could be the case. However, to be fair, anyone we recognize from the Empire or the nascent First Order could also fit that description. The other big X factor still in play is the newly rebuilt IG-11. Will the Mando need to put his life in the hands of what he hates most, a murder bot? Will the droid seek revenge for the death of his sort of father Kuiil? Or did the droid's old programming somehow come through and now IG-11's the one that killed Kuiil and let the scout troopers scoop up that wee Baby Yoda? Now, considering how much screen time was given in this episode to how IG-11 had been reprogrammed, we'd expect that he's going to wind up being a major asset in the season finale, and the Mandalorian's going to have to wait to do what Kuiil told him to and trust the Ugnaughts' work in order to get out of this mess. But we'll just have to wait and see how that all shakes out when the season finale of The Mandalorian drops on December 27th. But tell me, what do you folks think? How will the Mando get out of this mess, though? What do you want to see in the show's second season, and did that ending leave your jaw on the ground too? Let's discuss. Thanks again to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order for sponsoring today's episode. You play as Cal Kestis, a Jedi Padawan who narrowly escaped the purge of Order 66 following the events of Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. On a quest to rebuild the Jedi Order, you must pick up the pieces of your shattered past to complete your training, develop new powerful Force abilities, and master the art of the iconic lightsaber, all while staying one step ahead of the Empire and its deadly Inquisitors. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is available now on Xbox One, PS4, and PC.